Hello, friends. Hello. Happy Thursday. Welcome to Craft Your Joy Live. I'm Lisa Hetrick. I'm back. It's been 2 weeks. Whew. Friends, I took some much needed downtime with my family and we went on vacation and it was wonderful spending time together. And the week before we left was super busy, so I wasn't able to go live. I was also wrapping up a 6-week course that I had been taking on Thursdays, and that's why I wasn't going live on Thursdays, but I'm back on Thursdays. So, whoosh, it's so fun to see everybody popping in. I wasn't sure what we were going to see today because I've been away for 2 weeks, but I'm back and I'm energized and I'm kind of just super excited about some things that I'm planning. Also a new Gina K Designs release that's coming in 2 weeks, and still sharing inspiration using Life in Full Bloom, which is the current release. And I see everybody popping in. Oh, hello everyone. Hello everyone. Oh, Gloria shared that Life in Full Bloom arrived and she's so excited. I cannot wait. This set has brought me so much joy. And I think it's literally because of the zinnias that I've been growing in my garden and the beauty of the colors and all that. So today we are easing back in to just some card making and just a couple of stencil techniques. And I'm just kind of picking up where I left off with the color combinations, the Gina K Ink color combinations that I love for floral, my floral faves. So let's just go ahead and dive in. Okay, friends. This is the card that we're going to make today, or some kind of version of this card that we're going to make today. Thank you, Mary. I look refreshed and glowing. I hope so. I've been doing quite a few different things this summer to make some changes, and I think it's starting to work out. I need a quick little drink here. So excuse me. Jamadi, hello, fellow crafters from British Columbia. Hi, Jennifer. Yay. Rhonda, I hope all's well. You just finished your PT exercises. It's just so great to see everyone. Okay. All right, friends, this is the card. Let me move over just a smidge here. I'm not quite lined up. This is the card that we're going to be making today. And today, there's a little something else I want to try. So here was another card that I shared during the release. And there's a technique in here using the stencils. I'm going to try on here. And it's going to give us a little bit of a color blending effect that I'm not so sure is going to work or not. So we're going to see. So let's dive in. First, I wanted to talk about, last time we were together, I talked about my floral favorite combinations of Gina K Inks that I'm loving right now. And I generally gravitate towards all the time. And that's Passionate Pink, Innocent Pink. I've got Wild Dandelion in here, Sweet Corn, Tangerine Twist, Sweet Mango, Medium Spruce and Light Spruce. And you could use Dark Spruce. That combination, that triad of inks in the Gina K line are just absolutely beautiful inks that have a little bit of blue in them. So they work really well for greenery and leafery. Good morning, Cheryl. Softstone and slate, we're not going to be using today. I think I'm using Obsidian for our sentiment. But I do like these combinations of these two colors with the others. Now, what I'm going to use today, I actually don't know if I'm going to use yellow. We'll see. I'm definitely going to be using Tangerine Twist and Sweet Mango, or one or the other. I'm not really sure. We're going to do a combination of mixing colors in the stencil with my favorite brushes that I go on and on about, these Gina K detail brushes. I just love them. They're stubby, they're cute. They're good for me because I feel like I have a lot of control using them. And we're going to do some coloring here, and we're going to do this coloring in of the seed packet that's on the stencil. Now here is the coordinating stencil that goes along with the Life in Full Bloom set. But in this stencil, I added this graphic element so that you could create the seed packet kind of background look on your card. So let's go ahead and get going. Now, I didn't get a chance to list all the supplies linked down below in the description, but I will get all of that in after the live today. It's been a busy morning, so I am using Innocent Pink cardstock as my card base. Love that color. It's really great. I've got a piece of the lightweight Gina K white cardstock. Now, I'm not using my Misty today, and basically because I forgot to get it out. So I am going to use some of this tape to just kind of hold down. This is, what is this? This is frog tape, but this is sort of like a painter's tape. This is, graphic designers use this tape a lot to hold things down. It won't stick. It's a lot like not pixie tape. Any of the tapes from ThermaWeb, like the purple tape. It's perfect. It's just like that. This is crooked. Hello. All right, we're just going to keep it really simple today. And I'm going to try a technique that I'm not sure is going to work. We'll see. But we're just going to have some fun. And get this background going. Let's move this over here. And just kind of have a little chat. See how everybody's summer's been going. First of all, holy smokes, it's August 14th. It's already the middle of August. And I'm like, wait, what? August just got started. Why is it almost like, why is it halfway through, right? Hello, Maura. First time from Broomfield, Colorado. First time watching. Yay! Tape. Yes, Stephanie. Hey, Stephanie, how's it going? How's your channel going? How is all your tech going and all that? Just drop a little note in the chat. And if I'm mistaken, I could be wrong. So I could be wrong. I think you have started going live. So if I'm right, yay, congratulations. I hope it's really going well. Okay, I'm just going to tape this down because I think I've seen one. I think I have. Tressa, are you wearing an aura ring? Yes, Tressa, I am wearing an aura ring. I started wearing it in January. And to work on, well, just, I like data. It doesn't mean I'm like a data-driven person, but I like data. And I was really trying to figure out what was going on with my sleep patterns. And I just love it. I've been doing lots of different things to make some adjustments for my health, and this has been like super helpful. So I do wear an aura ring, and I like it a lot. I love it. I absolutely love it. Jamadi, that's what happens when you go on vacation. The time just flies. I know, for real. For real. Oh, Tressa, you just got one. Oh, you're going to love it. You're going to absolutely love it. It's really been helpful in me making some decisions about my exercise routine, sleep, recovery, all kinds of different things. Because I am in this age of perimenopause, menopause, that's been quite the joy. So I've been, working on. Okay. And doing lots of different kinds of things to take care of my body and my mind for the future and longevity. So it's been really super helpful for that. Okay, I've got light spruce and medium spruce, and I am going to go in with some light spruce and start to create this background. I know myself very well. I am very messy. Thank you, Donna. I have a beautiful tan and glow. I do get really super tan without a lot of effort. So I'm just masking that part off because I know myself and I know I will end up going into that shape a little bit. So I'm going to go in with some light spruce. Here are my little detail brushes, and you can see this one's a light spruce and that's a medium spruce because I've done this before. Now I'm just going to go in and just kind of start to focus a little bit around my edges and just build in the shape. Now, one of the fun things, oh, thank you, Sandy. One of the fun things about this year has, and I'm a lefty, so I apologize. It kind of covers up, I kind of cover up what I'm doing a little bit here when I first get going, so you can start seeing it because my hand gets in the way. One of the things about me and the creation of these this year was that I really wanted to get better at blending and stencil techniques for using watercolor and using our Gina K Inks. I wanted to kind of improve my skills. So designing stencils to go along with my stamps was kind of part of that. I feel like, I feel like the lids for these are on incorrectly. I feel like medium spruce lid was not on the right thing. So let's do a little quick test here, because that looks like medium spruce to me and not light spruce. So I just kind of clean this off a little bit. I think I have my lids on wrong. Let's just do a little, yeah, see, that's light spruce. Okay. We're going to make a little bit of an adjustment to what I just did. And I'm going to peel up everything because I really want that lighter color and not that darker color. Oh boy, and I just ripped my paper. Boy, I'm just 0 for 2 today. Okay. Let's just flip. Like nothing ever happened, right? And let's just take a smaller piece of tape here and put that there. Oh, Stephanie! She's just shared, I'm having a self-esteem crisis and I scared myself out of making videos. It's so scary, and some folks can be so mean. Oh yeah. Oh my. I have a story about that. I for sure know that I need to push through. You know what? You just need to do it, because yes, push through. Just, I remember the very first time I went live. It was really fun and really funny. And you know what? Just be you, Stephanie, because the world and people want to hear from you. And just do it afraid. That's what I always say. Do it afraid. Now, the mean people. All right, what I'm doing is I just flip this over and I'm going back with my stencil. And I'm just kind of laying this back down over top here. Now, the lessons, I'm going to get back to that mean people thing, Stephanie. But the lessons that we've learned here are, try to remember to put your lids back on the proper ink. Or not, right? So I'm going to go ahead and just work with this light spruce again. And I really just want to go on the outside of my lines here. And while I'm doing this, I'm just going in softly around the edges. I want the edges to have more tone and shape, so it kind of creates that shape for us, where the inside of the stencil is going to be a lot lighter in nature. So Stephanie, mean people, they're out there. And remember, it's not about you, what they're saying, or what they do, or the comments they make. It's not about you. It's never about you. It's about something going on in their lives. They might be having a hard time. They might be, or they might just be mean, right? Or just might be, it's always about them. It is never, ever, ever about you. Okay. Oh, Gloria shared ink stands are good for that. Stephanie, you're getting a lot of great advice in the chat. And yes, Cheryl has been with me for a long, long time, and she has very, very sage advice. It's never about you, it's always about them. So I always say just do it anyway. And the people who are your people who want to hear from you will show up, right? They'll be there. And I feel like the community, our community of crafters is very protective. So when mean people do show up in general, you often don't need to say anything because your community kind of rises for you. And I will tell you, I've gotten mean comments over the years. Some of the mean comments I've had are related to my nails because I don't really do anything with them and they're always a hot mess. I've gotten comments that said your nails are ugly, you need to fix them. Um, and I just don't care about them. So I've gotten comments about my hair. I've gotten comments about my excitement, my level of excitement. If I get too excited, sometimes that upsets people. And if I do sing-songy things, that upsets people. But you know what? Again, what I do is delete and forgive. So if somebody makes a comment like that, I know it's not really about me. And I kind of just hope that whatever's going on in their life will improve. So I delete the negative comment and I forgive. Delete and forgive. That's what I do. So, but remember, the world needs more good vibrations and happiness and people who are willing to share inspiration. So do it. And I will be there cheering you on. Do it, do it, do it. Okay, I kind of boogered it up right down here because I have the heavy hand of Lisa. And I kind of boogered it up a little bit, but you know what? I'm not going to sweat it. I'm not going to sweat it. Mean comments about nails, yeah. Oh, so the comment, one time I got a comment, my daughter and I were like getting our nails done with that like acrylic stuff for a while. And that was fun. It was just something that we were doing together in one fall season. And I ended up really damaging one of my nails. Like it took the whole thing off. I hit it with, I forget how I did it, but I hit it. So that nail was removed, but all the other nails were there. And someone really took the time to send me a very long email about how I need to make a choice, either all painted nails or none. And it was very, it was a very long email. But you know, I kindly responded to that person to let them know, I hope you are well. Just so you know, there's a real person behind this email address. And I had actually almost broke my finger and I actually had ripped the entire nail off. So I just sent a kind reminder to that person that, um, that there's more to it than me just forgetting to put paint on that one nail, right? And she apologized. So I do think that sometimes people act and react without filtering, right? Without thinking about what they're going to say or the person on the other side or all of the things going on, the whole story, right? I was always taught to put myself in someone else's shoes before making a comment that's not. So, just kind of extend that to everyone else. Everybody has such beautiful comments that they're sharing. And Stephanie, look at all the encouragement that you're getting. I hope you do it soon. Mary, I love that. People can be so peoply. I feel that way about the grocery store, like every week. What is going on in the grocery store? Does anybody else have comments about that? Like every time I go in the grocery store, I'm like, what is happening? Like, why are people being so peoply? It's kind of funny. Okay, loving the way this came out. So see how being a little more heavy-handed around the edges of this seed packet stencil kind of gave it some more shape and definition so that I could allow the center really not to have a lot of color except for that little boogered up spot right there where I got a little bit heavy-handed. Now, I want to try, the technique I want to try is we are going to do some more coloring and some layering, and I'm going to show you how I blend the pinks, the pinks and the oranges together to kind of create this new color. But what I want to do here is I used the stencil for the blooms to kind of create this little shadow background without doing the stamp. And I kind of want to give it a try like right here, maybe like right here or right here, just to create another dimension of texture. So let's see how that goes. It could just be a total booger up situation, but we'll see. And I'm going to do, I want to do Innocent Pink, but I just realized that I did not bring Innocent Pink. So stand by. I'm going to grab it from the drawer. Here we go. Hopefully, I've got the right lid on the right ink. We'll find out. Okay. So let's go ahead and do this. I've got my pink little detail brush, and this one had a lot of passionate pink on it. So see, I'm just taking it and running it over this wet paper towel just to take some of the ink off. I'm not going to be too fussy about it. I'm not going to be super fussy about this either. We're just experimenting a little bit and just kind of easing back in after being off for 2 weeks. Stephanie, yes. The hyper focus that people will have. Like I said, people who say mean things, again, it's never really about you. It's about something going on in their lives that they're upset about. So they're literally like saying mean things to you because A, they can, B, let's kind of come in a little bit tighter here. They can, they also, I feel like sometimes people have just lost their way with kindness and they don't like, it comes from here right to here and there's no filter or trap. I always say, think it, trap it. Think it. If you don't feel like it's kind, trap it. Right? Okay. But it happens a lot. It happens a lot. Okay, I want to do this little backgrounder, and I want to do it right here. Now, so what's going to happen is I've got a little bit of this Innocent Pink, and again, I'm going to come in and go around the stencil, and I'm going to wing it here. I'm not even going to tape it down. Sandy, stop, breathe, and have fun. Exactly. That's like the whole point of the lives that I do. We're just having fun. I'm sharing and teaching a little bit along the way. Hopefully creating a like ripple of kindness and vibration of pause for all of us to just kind of enjoy creating something together and learning something together. All right, I'm going to focus around my edges again and just kind of come in. This Innocent Pink is going to take a little time for me to build up. I should have taped that down. Yes, Stephanie, that's a great, well, you know what, technically a lot of the ink cubes and things have their names underneath it, but I think for my spruces, they just didn't, and I ended up just, who knows, put the wrong lids on. Now I'm going over and around my edges here. And I just want to kind of, just coming in the middle just a little bit. I want to see what happens when I mix that innocent pink over top of that light spruce. See what kind of color blending, color mixing we can get, and if I like it or not. So I keep concentrating just a little bit more up and around this edge. Let's see. Should take that down. Oh, that's a little bit of tape right there. Okay. All right. So it's actually working. I was surprised. I wasn't really sure what it was going to do, but we've got this little element here. That's the floral element that goes with the stamp. It goes with the stamp. So and I'm going to be using it to color this. But what I wanted to do was to create that background for when we go to layer these embellishments, these floral embellishments over top. I wanted to create another level of texture and dimension, and I wanted to see what that blending looks like. So Sandy, this color is innocent pink. So when I'm using, like, I love these two colors for florals, innocent pink and passionate pink. Love it. Love it. Okay, now let's go ahead and do this again. I really just love that shape. And just to show you again on this example of this card, you can see it in the background and see how it just kind of creates another level of dimension. So when you're looking at this card, you see this, and then you see that. We've got 3 layers of dimension going on here without like a lot of height, which is kind of cool. Oh, Cheryl's got a great tip for adding color. Keeping track of your inks. I love that tip. Innocent pink is very light. Sometimes I don't think I got any. Yes, so true. So true, Stephanie. It's so light. Oh, hello, Alicia. I love the spruce. So look at this spruce ink. This is the light spruce mixed with that innocent pink. Look at that. Like, we've created a new color. I love it. Okay. I'm kind of feel like I'm getting a little bit nerdy and maybe in the weeds, but whatever. We're having fun, and we haven't been together in a while. So I think I'm going to, I know that we're probably going to put that flower there. Let's just do one right here, and let's just overlap it. We're probably not going to see that overlapping. We're probably going to only end up seeing little bits of what we got going on here. And I might go sentiment free on this card. We'll see. We'll see. All right, let's pop this down because I have a feeling I'm going to be schmoozhy and smoosh it. So let's just pop in. Get a little bit of that color going. I need to be careful because I know me. So I'm going to focus a little bit attention up around that edge right now, just to kind of deepen that edge without going over the side. Donna said getting nerdy. Get as nerdy as I want. I can hear myself like in my head sometimes when I'm doing our lives, especially like with watercolor, or anytime I start talking about a color or a product, I can hear myself in my head saying, "You're getting in the weeds. You're getting a little nerdy." And it's kind of funny. But that's the whole point of this channel. We get nerdy here. We don't we don't get super, I'm just not taking life super serious. I don't get super technical about the anatomy of building a card. I kind of like to focus on these techniques and the exploration of what we might find. So Gloria shared, surprise the red and the green do not become brownish. Yes. Different medium. So that's why I was surprised too, because I didn't try this out beforehand. So when you're working with your Gina K Inks, because what I love about the Gina K Inks is that they feel very much like a watercolor medium in the level of transparency that you can get and layering. So look at that layering right here and right here. I just kind of love it. It adds a little bit of extra color. it's kind of changing it up a little bit. And it's fun. It's fun. So it's very, very much like a watercolor, a transparent watercolor where we're layering different colors over top of each other, like especially with yellows and oranges and different pinks, how we layer them and you can see the color that's underneath it. That's kind of how I feel about the ink sometimes. So love this geeking out. We're all geeking out today. Okay, now I've got our base stencil layer here, digging it. Now let's just set this to the side and we're gonna do some, let's just put that over there. I already pre-stamped my 2 stamps. Stamps of the day. I just did a sing-songy. That was sing-songing. That's something that someone just commented on an old video of mine yesterday and saying, what's up with the sing-song? That's what it said. That's what the comment said. What's up with the sing-song? And I just laughed because that's what I do. I just kind of break into sing-song sometimes. Now, I stamped the 2 florals. Bye, Jamadi. We'll see you on the replay. I stamped the 2 florals in Innocent Pink. Now, you could do this in Obsidian or black if you wanted to create a little bit more contrast with your florals, like if you really want them to pop. I really want the floral shape to exist and be there, but I want the stencil color of the Passionate Pink, and I think we're going to do Sweet Mango, and hopefully these lids are on correctly. Tangerine Twist and Sweet Mango. I want those 2 colors to mix, so I want it to be kind of soft. So let's go ahead and start with this one and lay this down. Let's take some of my tape, my froggy tape, and just kind of lay that down. Now, I could have used my Misty to do this, but I feel like, do I need to move this up a little bit? Let's move this up into the center so that you can all see it a little bit better. Let's go ahead and move that up. So how's everybody's summer been? It's been hot. If I want to describe summer, it's been wonderful. Lots of family, lots of wonderful things have happened this summer. But it's been hot, friends. We're back in a little bit of it. Last week was glorious while we were on vacation. And it was, I heard it was very, very nice here at home. But this week we're just like the temperature's not super hot, but the humidity is a little bit much. A little bit much. But that's okay. It is summer. It is summer. Okay, now I'm going to play with 2. I'm saying hot. Stephanie, yes, yellow, orange, and pink. And aqua blue purple. Ooh, I love that color. Love that combination. Oh, well, hello. Did you hear that? Little Dash the kitty cat. Okay, I'm going to use Sweet Mango and Passionate Pink. So let me go ahead and I'm going to start off with the Sweet Mango around the edges. Then I'm going to come in and do a little bit of Passionate Pink. Let's see how that looks. Oh, yes. I love watching you all chat. Okay, I'm just going to go around the edges a little bit, starting out. And I am kind of hitting this with a little bit of a heavy hand. And even though I'm hitting this with a little bit of a heavy hand, you can still see how vibrant the Passionate Pink is from the original stamp. Now I just boogered it up right there. I'm improving my skills, friends. They're getting better with stenciling. I kind of love that stencils have become such a fun part of our paper crafting community with coloring stencils and layering stencils. I think it's kind of cool. Stencils as a whole have been around like forever, right? But I think it's just kind of fun that they've become a really interesting way for us to experiment with our stamping and our paper crafting projects. So everybody's sharing about the heat. Southern California, you've had a relatively mild summer. That's great. Oh, Donna. Donna just asked the magic question. How is your garden growing? Are you harvesting? I have harvested a few things. I have been disappointed in my zucchini and cucumbers. My first round of plants didn't make it because we had a very, very wet spring into early summer. So everything just got too wet. So I planted again, and I'm starting to get a few cucumbers. I have a lot of blooms on my zucchinis and cucumbers without fruit. So I've got a lot of, that's why I planted a lot of pollinator things out there, and I've had a massive success with florals and pollinators this year. I'm just kind of encouraging those little bees to get in there and pollinate my my zucchini and my cucumber so I can have some. But my future daughter-in-law, her plants, her zucchini and cucumbers have been rocking. Oh, I just boogered that up. All right, I'm coming in the middle, and I'm just trying to get in the middle here a little bit softly. And my technique is this. I literally just start going around in a circle. I left the drawer open over there, and Dash is just jumping in. Just kind of going around that circle a little bit. Boogered up a little bit right here, but I feel like that's okay. I'm going to recover a little bit by taking that tangerine twist, coming in and adding a little bit of that darker orange around that edge. So harvesting has been interesting this year. It has been an all-out battle of the squash bug this summer out there in the garden. I feel like my most successful thing has been the pollinator part. All right, I'm kind of digging these colors, really, really deep into colors. I'm going to move on. Look at that. Ooh, that's so nice. Okay. Early spring, I had good potato harvest, pea harvest, beans. I've had a good bean harvest. I'm getting another flush of beans that are happening right now. I grew edamame. That was a good harvest. But I had hoped to grow enough this year to can and like preserve a little bit. But I haven't done a lot of canning. I've done a little bit more of flash freezing and things like that. But yeah, everybody's saying the colors are amazing. Love the pink. Yes, I love the pink versus the black. So look at that. It's very warm, right? It's very, very warm. It's not a mistake, it's a feature. I just love this color combination. I feel like you can't go wrong. Okay, I'm going to come in. Let me find my sweet spot here. We're going to do the same thing over here, except I'm going to try to lighten it up a little bit. And I am going to come back and add a little bit of wild dandelion to all of this. So let's start off with sweet mango again, but try to be a little less heavy-handed and come in and lighten this up a little bit. Oh, oopsie. And just go around a little more in a little more of a soft way, because when I add that pink, I'm trying to create a little bit of that coral color. There we go. Little softer. So my harvests have been, I'm just now starting to get plum tomatoes. I have tomatillos out the wazoo. First time I've ever grown tomatillos. Don't even really eat tomatillos. I planted one plant, and I wanted to see what would happen. So I have a ton. We'll use them for salsa, and I have a lot of pepperoncini. Sandy, yes. Oh, this was the stencil that was with Gina K July. Yes, this is the stencil that coordinates with this Life in Full Bloom stamp set that released for July. Now I'm going to try something. I'm going to try a little bit of Innocent Pink here and see if that gives me kind of that color combination that I'm looking for. I'm going to go in gently. Innocent Pink takes a while to show up, but I'm just going to start to just go in a little bit gently in here. I might have to come in with some of that. A little swoosh of Passionate Pink. And I think, no, it's there. It's very, very subtle. Yay! How many friends do we have with us today? I didn't even check. Whoa, 23 of us. I'm shocked, given that I've been away for 2 weeks. Thank you. Okay, kind of digging that. Now I'm going to come in on the outer edge. We've got a very, very light wash of the Sweet Mango. I want to come in a little bit, just ever so gently around my edges. Maybe a little too gently. Around my edges of this stencil, the coloring stencil, with a little bit of that Passionate Pink, and I'm being very gentle-handed here. And I'm going to see what I get. I want to see what I get. So what I'm trying to do is create a little bit of contrast between these blooms. High chroma bloom here, right? Like super, super vibrant. Not as vibrant. It still needs a little bit more color though. Not as vibrant, but it is a little bit flat. So you can see how it's a little bit flat. It's not as vibrant as this one, but if I'm using the two together, this one looks like I didn't finish it. I hope that makes sense. I'm going to add a little bit of, do you see what I just did? That's Tangerine Twist. I don't want Tangerine Twist. I want the lighter color. I want a little bit of the Sweet Mango. Pay attention, Lisa. And I'm just going to come in just gently off the sides and kind of go around and add a little bit more without hitting it too hard. All right, kind of like that. Now to finish that edge off, boop, boop, come back to the pink. So I'm just kind of going back and forth with this one. I want the edge to have a little bit more. So see, I can get that graduation of color. That edge feels to me now like a real zinnia. Soft pinks that have just little hints of orange to kind of create that coral-like feel. Digging it. All right, love it. Now, let's lift it up and see what it looks like. Ooh, that was on very loose. Loosey-goosey. Okay, let's come around, tidy this up a little bit. How are we doing on time? We need to move, Lisa. You need to move. All right, so very soft, very high chroma, and super vibrant. Now, I'm going to come back through. No, I think what I'm going to do is leave this as high chroma as it is. I'm going to come back through here and just add a smidge of this Wild Dandelion. Now, as in watercolor, I do this a lot in watercolor techniques. As a finishing touch on florals, and even with these stencil techniques, I like to add a little bit of yellow. I feel like it jacks up the luminosity. And you can see how it immediately brought a little bit more light to this center of this flower. It brought just like a little splash of sunshine, right, to the center of this flower. So that flower was really soft, almost kind of pastel-y. And I wanted to just, and we've got this high chroma flower where it's super, super bright. Just by adding this little bit of yellow over top, we kind of bring those flowers a little bit more in line with each other as far as their contrast in color, but it's still kind of the softer of the two flowers. Stephanie, I try so hard to ink lightly, but yeah, friend, I hear you. I can't ink lightly. You see me here making like heavy-handed things, but I'm practicing. And I think for me, like the brushes, the bigger brushes are great for bigger areas, but I've had my most success with learning and getting that muscle memory for being a little less heavy-handed with using these detail brushes. So I love it. I love it. Cheryl called the flower marigold. It actually is, it could be a marigold, it could be a zinnia, it could be whatever. I think like if I went outside right now and grabbed some of my marigolds, they would very much look like this. And some of my dahlias would even kind of look like this right now. So super cute. Okay, now let's, before we start to cut these pieces, I just want to quickly, where am I standing? Here we go. Do the leafery pieces. We've got these two graphic leafery elements. One goes one way, one goes another. Let's go ahead and ink them up in the medium spruce. I think I want them both to be in medium spruce. And then we'll die cut them out. We'll see what happens. Let's just stamp them up here. We'll stamp one up here. And then we'll stamp another. I changed my mind. I'm going to do the second one in the light spruce. In the light spruce. Yes, it can absolutely be a marigold. Light spruce. Looks like I put the right lids back on, so that's a plus. I'm just going to stamp these down. Let's just put one right here. And then we'll die cut them out. And I'm not like super concerned that I didn't get a good solid impression. I think that adds to the texture even more. Okay, so let's go ahead and die cut these out. I think that this project is going to end up being sentimentless, meaning no sentiment. Why? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it comes along. All right, I've got my little mini intricate. I love it. It's super cute. Ooh, I'm just going to cut this out so that I can kind of get these elements through here a little bit easier. Cheryl just shared, Gina K did a tip the other night. If you're using the brushes, hold them by the handle for a lighter touch. Ah, okay. So like these, similar to an H2O brush. Yep, choking up further back. So I've talked a lot about that in the watercolor technique tutorials. I will always say like I'm choked up on the brush. So if I want really, really detailed or I want a lot of control, it feels very natural to us to choke up on a pencil or a pen. You can choke up on this and you can get a lot of detail. But if you're really trying to be light or you're really trying to be washy, like washy watercolor, you can pull your hand out to the edge of your tool and just kind of go in. It kind of forces, you have a little bit less control, so it forces things to kind of be a little bit lighter. So love that tip. Okay, let's find my dies. And I haven't even taken my dies yet and put them on the magnet sheet yet. I just kind of have them sitting on this. Kind of, you know, didn't do it yet. It happens. I love my little intricate. Let's go ahead and get this little piece lined up. I normally don't do the die cutting on our lives, but I like doing the die cutting. Sometimes I have trouble getting them lined up. I'm looking for that little edge that helps me line it up. I like, if I'm going to die cut live, I like doing it with the little intricate. Oops. Oopsie. Did you see that? I boogered it right up. I also like to just go rogue and cut things out with scissors. So let's go ahead and we're going to get a twofer here. We're going to cut two at a time. I need a little piece of tape to create our little embellishments. Oops. My brain is not seeing things properly. All right, while I'm cutting this, I'm going to tell a little story. Oh, Gloria, I have not used my mini Intricut yet because I don't want to mess up my shiny plates. Yeah, they get a little boogered up, but you can always get like replacement ones. I'm a big fan of messing things up, getting them going, getting things. Oops, this is really, there we go. Just give it a little push. Hold it. All right, while I'm cutting through, I wanted to share that last night I went to a flower farm here in Maryland called Mary B's Flower Farm. I'm just going to go ahead and die cut out the remainder of my embellishments. Did a pretty good job with this one. It's a little off, but who cares? Mary B's Flower Farm. It's in Parkton, Maryland. My very, very dear friend Carla and I went. It was sort of a birthday celebration, so a little bit late because we had dinner together and she took me there for my birthday, and we did an art class together. It was called flower pounding, and it was the coolest thing ever. We had so much fun. And you also could tour the her flower farm, which her zinnias were in bloom, dahlias, just absolute beautiful. It was like one of those you pick farms, and she also does like bouquets and things like that. And it was just lovely. But the fun thing is, we were just kind of, me and my friend Carla were just kind of got there early, so we started walking through her flower farm and her flowers and looking at all the colors of the zinnias and talking a little bit about the flowers we grow and just having a lot of fun. And then all of a sudden this storm came in, and the lightning was super close. Like you could see it, and it made like this crash probably maybe 100 yards away from us. And lightning struck in the woods area. And we both looked at each other. It's like, time to go. So it was, the ground shook. It was like, okay, I guess they don't want us to, didn't want us to look at the zinnias anymore, but we were having so much fun. We laughed so hard. And then did this flower pounding class together, which was super, super fun. There were lots of ladies there doing the class, but you basically took flower blooms. I'm going to cut this one out. This will be our last embellishment. You took the flower blooms, and she had lots of beautiful flower blooms from her garden, from her flower garden. And you took the heads, and you had a piece of watercolor paper, and you took a paper towel, and then you took this little hammer, and you just kind of you pounded it. You could pound it as heavy as you want. I was very light-handed with mine. And then you created this composition, this beautiful, beautiful composition. And I wish I would have brought it in here in the studio today. It's actually in another room. And so the dyes and the beautiful, beautiful color that were in your flowers would sort of like impress, like a stamp impression onto your watercolor paper, but it wouldn't be in the colors of the flower because and it was just such a really great study in florals and nature and how the colors that we see in our flowers are actually a little bit different, and how it would dye the paper differently. It was just really, really fun. Had so much fun. It gave me so many ideas for different things I wanted to share with you all, and different projects down the road. And if we have a minute, I might run to the other room and get that sample. But I did post it. If you head over to my Instagram today, you'll see in my story I posted the project that I created. And everybody kind of created their own thing. And it was just so much fun. It was fun because I haven't created any art lately. It had been weeks, right? And this was just kind of different, and I learned so much. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start to assemble our card. I got a little bit of glue here. The cool thing, if you can take a class or go to somewhere in your local community, flower farm, or maybe an artist is teaching a fun class where you can learn something new, like in at the library or someplace near you. I just try it. Just go. It's just so much fun. It was a 2-hour class, and it was just you could feel your like whole nervous system re-regulating. Stress was melting away. I wasn't super stressed anyway, but it just really created a sense of joy that to try something different, which is I hope you get that. You feel that experience from our time together when I'm live and creating projects with you. Okay, I'm digging this. Now, let's just dive in. We're just going to put this together, and I'm going to see how this little element worked out. I've got some foam squares. I'm foam square challenged. I'm just going to put a foam square in the middle of each of these flowers. Now, see how I ended up with a little bit more white around this edge than this one because it kind of shifted a little bit? I'm not going to worry about it, but you could always just trim that off with your scissors if you don't like it. Okay, let's just go ahead. Sometimes I'm challenged with getting the paper backing off. Looks like today I'm not going to be challenged, so that's exciting. Got a little bit of a nail to be able to take that off. A fingernail that isn't going to, yeah. So, all right, I like this. I want to cover up these. These are naturally, see how these don't meet? I did that on purpose so that if you wanted to do this stencil on like a larger card, like a 5x7 card, you could just do the top and then you could do the bottom and you could spread that top and bottom out and still get that seed packet effect. So let's go ahead and pop this right here, like right here. I just want that little tip to kind of cover that. Digging it. Still seeing a little bit of this. I want us to be able to see the work that we did there. I'm just going to pop this one right here. I like how we're breaking the edge just a little bit. I'm going to pop this one. I'm kind of nesting it around here. I want it to cover. I want it to just kind of come up underneath there just a little bit. But I also want to make sure it just kind of covers that edge a little bit. So let's just go ahead and do that. I don't want them to completely overlap each other, and I want us to still be able to see what we got going on in the background there. All right, let's take a little bit of glue and do a little bit of glue here and pop this in. I think I'm going to want this to just kind of be a little free. Nope, I want this one down here. I want this one down here. I'm loving that I can still see my little blooms underneath. I really wasn't sure how that was going to work out because I kind of had worked it out in my head, but not so much on paper. And I don't always get the chance to like pre-make one of my ideas before I do it with you all. Now I want that little curly Q to kind of overlap. So I've got this little natural indent right here. So I'm going to come in a little bit and just kind of pop that up here. I'm kind of digging that. Now, I originally said I was going to go sentiment free, but I really feel like it needs a little sentiment here. My sentiments, hope today is a good day, I think would be really good right here, and it's going to overlap just a little bit. Let's go ahead and stamp that out. I hope I have a piece of paper. Let's go ahead and stamp that out, and then we'll finish off that card. We are running a little bit behind today, so I don't want to run into Gina's live. So I'm going to boogie a little bit. Let's do a little obsidian here. Do, 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 do. Hope today is a good day. And then just kind of pop that right there. All right, not too bad. As Gina would say, better than horrible. Better than horrible. Her stuff is always amazing. Why are we such our worst critics, friends? Why? It's card making. It's fun. We're creating. I'm looking for my plates right now. Let's just go ahead and bring that little mini intercut back in and go ahead. Here's my boogered up plate. Gloria, you just got to get it out and rip the Band-Aid off and just booger it up. It still works. It still works. All right, let's just, I would love if the plates, like I love the magnetic plate for the big intercut. I would love if there was a magnetic plate for these little ones. Uh-oh, look at me. Hello, Mary. Well, oh, look at that. That just went flying. Let's get a better piece of tape. Hi, Mary. Welcome. You can always, we're nearing the end of our card making. That's okay. You can always catch this on the replay. There's been a lot of chit chat. I've chatted a lot. We've nerded out. We've had some fun. Oh, that's not good. I'm really having trouble lining this up today. Let's get to it. Sometimes I have a hard time seeing things close up. Gloria, get it out. She says she's going for it today. Good. All right, let's go ahead and just get that little sentiment out. I do love that we're making dies for our sentiments. At first I was like, oh, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Sometimes I feel like I have a hard time doing it, but I really kind of like, I kind of love, I learned this from Gina, love the way it looks when you can just get really close around that sentiment and just kind of pop it up a little bit. So I need a little bit of foam to pop this up because I've already popped up these flowers. So let's go ahead and just cut a little sliver. Let's see how this goes. Let's see how this goes. Put a little slive right there and a little sliver right here. Alrighty. And foam square sticking to my fingers. Let's pop this in. Pop this on, and then a couple little of those little pastel dots, and we'll be finished with this card. Oh boy. Me and the paper tape. Me and the paper tape. There we go. I know that the tweezers would be really helpful right now, and I have them. They're sitting right there. But me and the tweezers, we go way back. We go way back. And I'm still trying to get my brain to work with those reverse tweezers, which I said they were here. So here they are. The Gina K ones. I love them. All right, I'm going to pop them in, right, pop that little sentiment right there. Just kind of in that little negative space that was created between this flower, and here. And it also covers, whoa, it also covers that little edge of the seed packet. I can't tell if that's straight. Yeah, it is. I just need to kind of move it a little bit. It also covers the little edge of that seed. That's not straight at all. Eyeballs. Eyeballs were off. There we go. That's better. All right, digging it. I'm loving all the layers that we've got here. It also, doing that stencil piece behind it without the stamp kind of gives you the illusion too that there is a flower back there. We just can't really see its detail, which is kind of fun. All right, let's just finish this card off and all the chit-chatting. I'm going to add a few pastel dots, and I think I'm going to do, let's see, let's do one. Come on, glue. 1, 2, and then we'll do one right down here. We'll just do 3. And I'm going to do pink, just to kind of go along with that little bit of innocent pink. Uh-oh, that was a blue. I don't really like that shade of blue. Let's get that out of there. So, save you for another time. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe not. Let's put another little glue dot right there. And then just add that. And then add this little guy right here. Is it on there? Jeez. I need to get some reading glasses, friends. Some reading glasses. Oh, you can't see that. Maybe you can see this. So there are 2 little pastel dots here, and there's a blue one underneath that pink one. I was like, why does that pink look blue? Because it was. Okay, let's just add another little dot of glue. That little blue piece really wants to come to the party. Let's go ahead and drop that in. All right, I'm digging this. And I'm going to call this done. Loving this. So, this card was super fun. Oh, Stephanie just shared. There's a new tool that helps peel the backing paper. I need to see that tool. I need to see that tool. So here, today's card was a little bit of a mashup of these 2 cards, right? Predominantly look like this, but I really wanted to share that technique of creating that extra texture and dimension and pattern behind our florals and with that seed packet and see what kind of color combinations that we could get there. Love it! Loving the way this came out. Really cool. Super high chroma flower, little less intense, a little more coral-like, a little softer. This flower, because of its high chroma color being super, super colorful, is kind of coming forward at me a little bit. That color is going back, is like behind it. And then we have this illusion of some little puffy blooms right behind it. And I really, really, really like that. Okay. Okay, friends. I kind of ran a little bit late. Mary just shared, I'm not the only one that struggles with the embellishments. Oh, friend, me too, me too. Okay, this was super fun. I'm so glad that we're back. I'm back together. I will be back live next Thursday. And next week, next week I'll be preparing for the following week's release, my brand new stamp set. I'm so excited about the next one too. I know I say that every single time, but I get so excited about my stamp set releases because I know that they're all in proportion to each other. I know that many of you collect them and you really want them to work well together. And this next one that's coming, is so, so fun. Oh, thank you. Stephanie shared that to get that backing off of your foam tape, it's called an adhesive lifter. Super, super fun. Okay, friends. I'm so grateful that you could join me today. I will have the supplies listed down below in the description. I'll get that after the live. I also have links to all the things down below in the description. The stamp set, also my free community. I'd love to see you over in my free community. It's called the Craft Your Joy Lab. We do lots of experiments over there. I love that community. Took a little bit of a break for the last week and a half, and now I'm back. So I'm super excited to share more things with you. And I also share content there that I don't share anywhere else because it is ad-free, social media free. It's just a place for us to be. Sort of like the workshop I went to last night, only in online form. Boop. Okay, friends. Thanks so much for joining me. I see all the wonderful comments that everybody making. Stephanie, we're cheering you on. I cannot wait to see you go live. You need to let me know, and I will be in the comments. I'll be there for you. You need to let us know, and you need to just go ahead and do it. Even if you just go do a practice run, it'll be fun. Okay, friends, thanks so much for joining me today. Have a great weekend. I'm sending you into the weekend to Craft Your Joy, and I will see you next time. Thanks, friends. Next week, next Thursday. Bye now.